Even when we wanted to move to Australia at one point, we were thinking, and my both my husband and I, about our mothers. The first thing we said, no, we can't, and especially mine. My husband has his sister who's doing all the work on that side, but mine, who is going to take care of her? If something happened, who's going to get on a flight and run from the other side of the world? So we never moved, because of that. Because you make your decisions on life, because you know that you cannot depend on anybody else. And this is the thing. And then the day comes, they die, and we're siblings from the same parent, we're both their children. Yes, we're both their children. How did you show it so many years? Or your life, how did you show that you had a mother? How did you prove yourself, to be a child of that person? It's on papers, that's all. But in reality, as a family member, as a daughter or a son or whatever, what did you do that you can prove that you were their child? That you were taking care of them? Or being there for them? I'm not saying about taking care, but you being there for them. It's not with a phone call, every 5 months, birthday, Christmas, and whatever. It's not with a visit of one day in the 15 days that you come, with one visit or 2 visits, that you can be considered a daughter or a son to that person and expect the same treatment when they're gone. It's too easy. It's like too fucking easy. So somebody's been writing really interesting comments about that. Somebody who's been through that. So this person is saying that when they think back to that moment, the funeral, those days anyway, they get sick. And I'm sure that you feel sick to your gut and angry because, you think, fuck, I went all through all that, and it was like, it's a manipulation for me when you hear from other people, that your sister, brother, whoever says, yeah, but it's convenient for her to have moved next to the mother or the father. It's convenient for them, to take care of them. Now that they don't pay rent, they don't need to pay rent. Anything like that, there are so many reasons that they can make you feel, bad about it. Coming to the island, I had houses which I paid rent for. At the beginning, I even paid rent for. But then I stopped paying rent because, I can't be investing in a house, paying my taxes on this house and all that, and have to pay a rent also. But yet, I was kind of accused that I was taking advantage of that. She's not paying rent, and I'm not getting anything, kind of like that. I'm like, what the fuck? And after I heard a good one that it's convenient for me to take care of my mother because I'm working her business. Yeah, I'm working it. I'm not getting money from the business without working it. I've saved it. I'm working it. You give so much of yourself, and then you criticize that you're taking advantage. The other thing is that you're the one putting up with all the shit. I'm gonna go back to the golden child and scapegoat thing. And what is golden child really? It doesn't mean the golden child has more advantages. No, the only big advantage the golden child has is that the parent is not constantly on their back, nagging, criticizing. Like, have you ever seen a chicken that goes at a nest of ants, like crazy like this? This is what the narcissist is on our heads, they're like and going at us. This never happens to the golden child, in brackets, because I don't like the word golden child. I think we should find another word for that, because they are abused, but in a different way. They are and have been fucked up by the parent big time, even bigger than us, okay? But not through abuse. The fact that they will get angry with them and make them pay if they don't do what they say, if they rebel against the narcissist, this will happen. But it doesn't happen really often. My brother-in-law turned around and he said to me that my sister needs to heal from this situation, from the relationship with my mother and all that. Sorry, what does she need to heal from? I mean, if my sister needs to heal from seeing her once every 2 years, or from talking to her 5 times a year on the phone, what the fuck do I need? And it's not about healing. So I was trying to explain to him that it's not about healing. The golden child, brackets, needs reprogramming. That's what that child needs. Because what happened is that the parent made them really kind of like Play-Doh, you know? They made them into what they wanted to make them. So the golden child, what's the problem with the golden child? Is they don't really have a personality. Well, most of them. But what the golden child is a little robot of the narcissist. They made them the way they wanted to make them. And so they're having a big, big identity crisis, you know? They're going through an identity crisis. They're in a constant search of their real self because there is no real self, you know? It's been like covered up by so much that they're just like a walking bomb. Anytime they can blow up, unless they become very early narcissists themselves. So they are like, anyway, no saving them too. But the golden child for me hasn't gone through the abuse that the other children in the family go through. No way. You know, they haven't gone through that pick on your brain, on your head, on your body, on your everything. So I think it's easier to get over the psychological abuse than to get your work done by having to reprogram completely yourself. I mean, of course, we have to do some reprogramming too. Doesn't mean, I'm not saying that we don't, but it's not as much, you know. There's like, it's like little things. I mean, the core is still us, the other kids I'm talking about, scapegoat and all the other kids, but mostly the scapegoat. We spend so much time rebelling against the manipulative narcissist. We went through it early. So when somebody puts you on the wall, you know, and just shoots at you constantly, you have to learn very quickly to protect yourself from those shots, you know, from that aggressivity. So you become aggressive yourself too. And you fight back. So you become stronger, really. Whereas the golden child is like smoothly and delicately shaped into a false person, into a completely false person. That's why you will see that golden children, usually they are completely in denial. They blame everybody else for their problems, always. They always blame everybody else for their problems. You know, everything that happens in their life, it's the shitty weather, it's the neighbor, it's this one, it's that one. It's like they have adopted the main narcissist dysfunctions, but they don't want to look at them. It's not a problem, you know. It's not, that is not the problem. That is not me the problem, you know. It's everybody else the problem, and it's so difficult for them to get out of that madness cycle. They are battling with themselves, actually, with the true selves, their true self, with their fake self, you know, their imposed, their molded self by someone else, you know, the self that was molded by somebody else. So I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but this is what I have realized. And it's not a surprise that most, you hardly, really, I've never heard of any scapegoats. And when I mean scapegoat, the person in the family that has been treated like shit from the narcissist, but constantly, all their fucking lives, and from when they're very young. You don't really see them. It's rare that they become narcissists. And they're always the ones who try to, you know, understand what's happening, what they can correct in themselves, what they can improve, how they can fix the relationship with others. They take blame, they say sorry and mean it, because You can say sorry. Anybody can say sorry. It's the fact is to mean it and to really feel like, oh yes, oh my God, I said that. I shouldn't have said that. And all that. Instead of playing it, oh yeah, but she said that first. And it's a different situation, really. We can't say that they were treated like shit. Okay, they were treated like little princesses. It's so funny. Like 2 weeks ago, um, I went to my mother again, and she's trying to fish me for information. She wants to know why my sister and her husband are having problems in their marriage and all that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's none of my business. I don't know. Of course, I know, but I'm not I will lie to my mother, because you don't know how she's gonna use it. And the proof, one day she says, well, I think he has a mistress. That's why they're going through that. Oh, I hope he doesn't hurt my daughter. Suddenly she cares about her daughter. And then 2 days after, it's like, the other way around. It's like, your sister never was really a faithful person. She always liked to look around, and I'm sure she has a lover. And I'm like, okay, yesterday it was he has, now she. You don't even get into this conversation with them. She's just kind of. I know now that she's just fishing for information. So if I knew the truth, for example, and she would say the wrong thing, so that, or the opposite, so that no, it's not like that. That's not true, And she tries every day. I'm very tempted, to butt in and to defend whoever I would defend, but I don't do it. Keeping out of it. And then one day she was kind of frustrated that I don't give in, and she turned around to me and she said, you ruined your sister. She was such a nice little girl. She was such a nice child, but you were bad for her. You were bad influence for her, kind of like. When we hardly ever had a relationship. We never had a relationship. um Oh, I got so angry at that moment. I thought, how unfair to say that. When do I see my sister? We became like close the last few years, but we really never had a relationship, And my mother always saw to it. Okay, we're two different people, and if she was not my sister, she would not be my friend, let's say. But still, it's the sister bond that you want to try, and you do accept people, and we're adults, and we can accept people for who they are, and as long as they doesn't bother us, we can have a contact and we can have a relationship with people who are different from us. But still, I hardly ever see her. You fucked your sister up. It's your fault that your sister has changed. She had no one else to blame. She was getting angry with me for not giving in and giving her information. And then suddenly I'm to blame. And I said to her, listen, what you told me, that was really, really mean. When you say things like that, I despise you, because what you're saying is so mean and so wrong, and you're trying to put the blame on me, and you have no right to try and make me feel like that, because this is the way I talked with her now, I'm like this. Your favorite little daughter, call her. Maybe you should call her and tell her to come and take care of you, so I can leave. And leave you alone, since I'm for everything to blame. For the moment, you have me, and you're gonna have to put up with me, whether you like it or not, but that's all you have. So you talk to me in a different manner. Because there's no coming here, there's no bringing you wine, there's no giving you money, there's no nothing for me. And you try and find somebody who cares for you. And that day, I must say, her eyes went kind of, wet, like when you're about to cry. And for a moment, I thought that it was because I told her that, I despise you. Sister said, fuck you on the phone, and I don't want to have anything else to do for you. I'm dying for that moment where I will be able to do that, but I have a responsibility, and I don't like you either. That's how much you push me, and that is how much I dislike you as a person. So I don't know if it's that part that hurt her, or when I told her, where's your daughter? Just call her and tell her to come over and take care of you, or to take you at her house. Because I don't see anyone around, and I don't see anybody answering your phone calls or phoning you to see if you're okay. I don't know which part hurt her, really. I'm sure that it's the second one, because I think she realized that she bet on the wrong horse. That's exactly how it is. She bet on the wrong horse. And it's usually the ones that are the most hated, from these toxic parents that do take care of them. It's like I turned around and told my sister she has many kids, and there is one that she's like constantly bullying. She doesn't even realize that she's doing. Even when you tell her, she will say that she's not. But the child feels like she's hated from her mother, that her mother despises her. And I told her, she's going to be the one who's going to take care of you later. Believe it or not, she's going to be the one. She will run every time you need her, because she's starving for your love. Like I was starving for my mother's affection and love and attention and um, acceptance. You're starving for that. You grow up to be a person, an adult, who is starving for recognition from a parent that was always like, you're shit, you're like worth nothing. I was expecting from your sister, but from you I didn't expect anything. You're a loser to me. This is the damage they do to us, scapegoats, and we keep on peddling and peddling and running to get this acceptance. The thing is that now I don't expect